A pair of silk stockings. Little Mrs. Summers one day found herself the unexpected possessor of $15. It seemed to her a very large amount of money, and the way in which it stuffed and bulged her worn old porte-monnaie gave her a feeling of importance such as she had not enjoyed for years. The question of investments was one that occupied her greatly. For a day or two she walked about apparently in a dreamy state, but really absorbed in speculation and calculation. She did not wish to act hastily, to do anything she might afterward regret. But it was during the still hours of the night, when she lay awake revolving plans in her mind, that she seemed to see her way clearly towards a proper and judicious use of the money.
$1 or two should be added to the price usually paid for Janie's shoes, which would ensure the lasting an appreciable time longer than they usually did. She will buy so and so many yards of pearls for new shirt waists for the boys and Janice and Mac. She had intended to make the old ones do by skillful patching. Max should have another gown. She had seen some beautiful patterns, variable bargains in the shop window, and still they will be left enough for new stockings, 2 pairs apiece. And what turning that will save for a while. She will get caps for the boys and sailor hat for the girls. The invasion of her little dog-looking flesh and teeny and the new for once in their life excited her, and it made her breathless and wakeful for anticipation. The neighbors sometimes told of certain better days that little Mrs. Summer had known before she had ever thought of being Mrs. Summer. She herself indulged in no such morbid retrospection. She had no time, no second of time to devote the past. The need of the present absorbed her every faculty. A vision of the future, like some dim, grown monster sometimes appalled her, but luckily no tomorrow never comes.
Miss Summers was one who knew the value of bargains, who could stand for hours making her way inch by inch toward the desired object that was selling below cost. She could elbow her way if need be. She had learned to clutch a piece of goods and hold it and stick to it with persistence and determination till her turn came to be served, no matter when it came. But that day she was a little faint and tired. She had swallowed a light luncheon. No, when she came to think of it, between getting the children fed and the place right, and preparing herself for the shopping bout, she had actually forgotten to eat any luncheon at all. She sat herself upon a revolving stool before a counter that was comparatively deserted, trying to gather strength and courage to charge through an eager multitude that was busying various works of shirting and figured lawn. All gone limp feeling had come over her, and she rested her hand aimlessly upon the counter. She wore no gloves. By degrees she grew aware that her hand had encountered something very soothing, very pleasant to touch. She looked down to see that her hand lay upon a pile of silk stockings. A placard nearby announced that they had been reduced in price from $2.50 to $1.80, and a young girl who stood behind the counter asked her if she wished to examine their line of silk hosiery. She smiled, just as if she had been asked to inspect a tiara of diamonds, with the ultimate view of purchasing it. But she went on feeling the soft, shiny, luxurious things with both hands now, holding them up to see them glisten and to feel them glide serpent-like through her fingers.
2 hectic blushes came suddenly into her pale cheeks. She looked up at the girl.
Do you think these are any 8.5 among these?
There were any number of 8.5. In fact, there were more of that size than any other. Here was a light blue pair. There were some lavender, some all black and various shades of tan and gray. Mrs. Summers selected a black pair and looked at them very long and closely. She pretended to be examining their texture, which the clerk assured her was excellent.
$1.98.
She mused aloud.
Well, I will take this pair.
She handed the girl a $5 bill and waited for her change and for her parcel. What very small parcel it was! It seemed lost in the depths of her shabby old shopping bag.
Mrs. Sommer, after that, did not move in the direction of the bagging counter. She took the elevator, which carried her to an upper floor into the region of the ladies' waiting room, where in a real-lit corner she exchanged her cotton stockings for the new silk ones which she had just bought. She had not gone through any occult mental process or reasoning with herself, nor was she striving to explain to her satisfaction the motive of her action. She was not thinking at all. She seemed for the time to have been taking a rest from that laborious and fatigued function, and that have abandoned herself to some mechanical impulse that directs her actions and frees her of responsibility.
How good was the touch of the rolled silk to her flesh! She felt like lying back in the cushioned chair and reveling for a while in the luxury of it. She did for a little while. Then she replaced her shoes, rolled the cotton stockings together, and thrust them into her bag. After doing this, she crossed straight over to the shoe department and took her seat to be fitted.
She was fastidious. The clerk could not make her out. He could not reconcile her shoes with her stockings, and she was not too easily pleased. She held back her skirts and turned her feet one way and her head another way as she glanced down at the polished, pointed boots. Her foot and ankle looked very pretty. She could not realize that they belonged to her and were a part of herself. She wanted an excellent and stylish fit. She told the young fellow who served her, and she did not mind the difference of $1 or $2 more in the price so long as she got what she desired. It was a long time since Miss Summer had been fitted with gloves. On rare occasions, when she had bought a pair, they were always bargains, so cheap that it would have been preposterous and unreasonable to have expected them to be fitted to the hand. She rested her elbow on the cushion of the glove counter, and a pretty, pleasant young creature, delicate and deft of touch, drew a long wristed kit over Miss Summer's hand. She smoothed it down over the wrist and buttoned it neatly, and both lost themselves for a second or two in admiring contemplation of the little, symmetrical gloved hand. But there were other places where money might be spent, and magazines piled up in the window of a stall a few paces down the street. Miss Summers bought two high-priced magazines such as she had been accustomed to read in the days when she had been accustomed to other pleasant things. She carried them without wrapping. As well as she could, she lifted her skirts, and at the crossings, her stockings and boots and well-fitting gloves had worked marvels in her bearing, had given her a feeling of assurance, a sense of belonging to the well-dressed multitude.